What is happening, friends? Hope you guys are having a great day. Today's topic of conversation is one of my favorite things to develop in a new business, and that is your core values. So Donna Miller talks about having 3 core values and keeping it limited to 3, and makes the example that he was in a massive business and he was, I think it was a hotel chain or something like that, but very, very big company. And he asked one of their high up management people, what are your core values? And the guy froze, struggled to come up with one of them, of which the people were like, what the heck? Aren't you supposed to know all this? And he basically said, like, you have way too many core values. So one company that I worked with, I asked for their core values and what they run their company on. And I was given like a 1.5 page, size 12 font, paragraph after paragraph after paragraph after paragraph of what the owner of the company wanted the business to function like. And I literally took all of that information and I narrowed it down to 3 things that were like 3 or 4 word lines that were super memorable. So I'll use a perfect example. The coffee shop that we owned. Ours were be positive, encourage community, make great coffee and food. So very simple. And I would literally, like, all the time I'd pop in on my baristas and I would be like, what are our core values? Don't look, because I would have them printed on the back of the bar. So behind the bar, any of you who ever stopped in the shop, you never saw this, but on the back of the bar, our employees would tell you there was like this little piece of paper that said, be positive, encourage community, make great coffee and food. And the whole framework for that company was come for the coffee, stay for community. We wanted to build a space for community in our little town. And that was the whole point of it. We made amazing coffee and food, but we really wanted a space for community to happen. So one of the things that I would work with my staff all the time was, even if you're having a bad day, it's not fake or false or phony to be nice to the person in front of you. So no matter what was happening, even in conversations in the shop, my encouragement was always to be positive. And our whole hope was to encourage people to spend time together. Hey, have you met so-and-so? We wanted to encourage community, and then we want to do everything that we could in excellence, so make great coffee and food. One of the things that I find most with my clients, my business partners, when we sit down to do the work of building core values, the things that come up all the time, like, it's hilarious. But also, I did the same thing when I very first started building it. It's always like integrity, character, things that are character traits that are huge and super important, but they're not necessarily the core values of your company. They don't shape your company. Those are character traits that you want to look for in someone. And if your core values are to have integrity and character, no hate. It's an amazing thing to look for and to encourage. But you can't say, hey, I'm going to shape you to have integrity. That's something that someone really has to build on their own, and maybe personally you can encourage it. But what you want to make your core values for your company are something that's super memorable, that can be quoted and brought back out of memory super easy. So you want them to kind of have like a rhythmic flow to them, typically, at least I do. And you want them to be something that shapes the culture of your company. So just to continue with that example, I could do a handful of businesses that were my personal businesses that had core values that shaped the company specifically, but we'll stick with the coffee shop. So always be positive. When you're in conversation, if a conversation starts going in a negative direction, you as an employee at this company, I want you to stay positive. You're on the clock, you're working here. Our goal as a company is to be positive, to encourage community, and to crush making great coffee and food. So those are core values that shape the whole culture of our company. One of the businesses that I'll use as an example, the one that had a 1.5 pages, one of the big things that the owner had written out in like 3 paragraphs was how important it was basically to treat people well, from employee to manager to just like treating each other with respect. And so literally I shortened all those paragraphs down to honor everyone. And it's so simple, but really, if you honor everyone, the person that you are quote unquote above in the company, the person that you are below in the company, your customer, your manager, if you honor everyone, that solved 3 paragraphs worth of description of being honoring. So core values, I will talk about this more in future. I will go in depth on this because I love the core values of a company. They literally shape the whole of the company. but just something to think about. Make your core values something that actually shapes your company, not just character traits that you want to find. Like with one of my partners, that was our discussion. I said, we need to find people who have character and integrity, and are honor. Like we need this in the staff that we find, but let's look for that in them, hopefully before we hire them, and let's encourage that. But the core values of our company need to shape what our company does. So I hope this was helpful. I hope it just sparked thoughts of maybe making some core values for it. Again, we'll talk about this more in the future, but as a quick tip, make your core values something that helps to shape the culture of your company, and they'll be more effective. And also make them rhythmic and memorable. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. I'll see you soon.